everyone, welcome back to my channel. We will be talking today with a very special guest. She is no other than Dr. Charmaine Gooden Monteith. She has a first degree in communication, a second degree in human resources management, and her doctorate in education. She's also a certified teacher, and she's the author of 3 books. Welcome, Dr. Charmaine Gooden Monteith, to our YouTube channel. I am Dr. Stephanie Stern, your host. Welcome,
Thank
Dr.
you so
Gooden.
much, Dr. Stephanie Stern, for having me on your YouTube channel. I see it as an honor and a pleasure to be sharing with you today.
Excellent. So tell me, with all that background that you have in so many various areas, how have they helped you to maneuver the changes, the drastic changes, the disruption in your organization?
I believe that I have been in a very good position to respond positively to the changes in this new paradigm. So it was very easy for me and for members of my team to pivot. Having worked as a change champion before when I worked in the education sector, having worked also and having had experiences in HR and working as the Deputy Secretary General responsible for HR and administration, my experience also as a communications consultant, that has helped me a lot in communicating the message, the change that is required, and they to get persons to collaborate in this new paradigm. So those have helped me. And my team members, they were not very difficult to convince as well, because as you are aware, that so many organizations have gone under, they have buckled under the pressure during the COVID-19 pandemic. Thank God ours is still standing. And we try hard to ensure that our president's mandate is executed. And so we have tried to ensure that all the activities, or as many of them as possible that can be held virtually, are held.
I am always curious about the changes that organizations are making now. What are some of, or a few of the changes that you have seen revolutionized in your organization that if it were not for COVID, you would not have done same?
To be honest with you, Dr. Stephanie, many of the activities that we have had over the years, we have always held them physically. Even when we have live streaming, we have the physical component and we would stream some parts live. What we had never done before was to actually execute a program, a project, a conference from start to finish, fully online. Right. In fact, two of the things that we were able to do as a leader in the trade unionism, we were able to stage our conferences and workshops, and we were able to invite some of our colleagues from the CARICOM region. And so they were able to join us. In the past, many of them would not have been able to join us because we never thought that it would have been possible. That component of integrating the technology was never used. In fact, we have always said that in our organization that we're going to be going fully, we're going to be having a bimodal approach where, we would have both online and physical activities. But we were always reluctant to have it fully online. But now we have embraced that. We are also doing some assessment of our technology infrastructure to see how we can build it out some more and to make it more efficient, because we realize that even when COVID-19 ends, we are still going to have to continue doing some of our activities virtually. if we are going to take up our position in the global space, and if we want to engage more of our members at any one given time. Because one of the challenges that we've had in the past is to find a venue that is big enough to accommodate more than 1,000 persons in any one given time. And guess what? This platform or the different technologies that are available, they are allowing us to be able to reach a wider cross section of persons.
Excellent. So COVID came, we have made some changes, and quite a number of companies will continue on the path, especially of technology, working from home, and numerous other areas. And from time to time, we'll bring on persons to talk about what their companies are doing.
I forgot to mention that we are putting in place a telecommuting policy. And I was just interjecting that sometimes when you study, you learn some of these things. I remember learning about telecommuting in the Nova Master's program in 2004, but I never had the opportunity to work from home or to implement such a system. And that is one of the systems that we are taking a closer look at, especially in this new paradigm where some of our workers have to commute each day from home to work. And, this is a big risk in a pandemic. And in order for us to stay resilient, we have to consider telecommuting and all the other modalities that will allow the workers to work from home or to use other platforms and other options to be able to carry out their jobs without exposing themselves.
And so, did you have anyone working from home?
Oh, yes, initially, to be honest with you, because we were not ready for this jolt. When it happened, we looked and we said, we're not sure how this thing is going to pan out. So we have to close on our offices. So initially, our offices were closed and we were at home and we were just looking at, boy, this is where this is going to end. This activity will not be able to be staged or hosted. And then we decided to call the managers together and we had a brainstorming session. And some of us started coming up with ideas about some of the activities that we could possibly experiment with as a start. And we started with the education conference. We started with Education Week. And we looked at how we could stage our first virtual church service. When we saw the different activities falling into place, we got very hopeful. And we started now to work from home for a few weeks before we went back on a phased basis to the office. Now we're fully back in office, and as the numbers continue to trend up, we have decided that we're going to take another look at telecommuting or working from home, where we can actually put in some guidelines until we eventually come up with a policy.
Excellent, excellent. So tell us, as a thought leader, how are you influencing activities concerning this new norm?
What I have been doing personally, Dr. Stephanie, I have been participating in some of the presentations that have been staged virtually as a facilitator. I also have been a host. I have been organizing myself as well, not only for my office, but also I am organizing as a consultant, communications, HR, and in education as well. I'm looking at staging a series of workshops about self-care, about teaching the teachers and other persons who are in cyberspace, about communication, about coping, about change management and how to pivot in times of crisis, about resilient management. In fact, I've attended 2 conferences virtually. I attended one that was put on by the Human Resource Management Association. I also attended a conference that was staged by the Caribbean Union of Teachers that shared ideas about how unionists and educators in the region and across the world can pivot to ensure that they remain relevant and that they can maximize their potential during this pandemic and any other crisis that the sector might face. I'm also trying to network with my friends and professional colleagues to see if I can continue the work. So I have started my podcast, which is aired on anchor.com. I have also been planning to start up another YouTube channel where I'll be interviewing different professionals and having some self-help videos that can help persons with self-care, with communicate, how to improve their communication skills, how to communicate during a crisis, how to look at children with special needs, because I have a doctorate in education, as you had said before, and just generally videos that are free videos, but also videos that I hope in time I will have a lot of subscription, or also I'll set up these online platforms that I can do for free, but also some of them will be for payment. I have recently also uploaded two of my books are on Amazon.com. The Inclusion of Students with Special Needs in the Regular Classroom, Teachers' Knowledge, Attitude, and Practice in Jamaica and Globally. This is my research that I had done in passion fulfillment of my dissertation at Nova Southeastern University, and this was done in 2017, and the book was published in 2018. I also have my Moments Motivational and Inspirational Thoughts book, which is also published in the Kindle store on Amazon.com. What I have been doing, I've been reading some of these thoughts, and Dr. Stephanie, I have recently written some new poems. I can't wait. I'll be performing on a poetry show soon, where I'll be sharing my views. I've also been doing virtual workshops for colleges and universities, for teachers, for parents, for educators who require my skill set. And I had a real nice one that I did for Michael University College, where I did for some of the senior lecturers and management staff, where I looked at pivoting during COVID-19 or during any crisis and how they can use COVID. I even use the letters in COVID to state something positive and to, like a mnemonic, for persons to see this as opportunities to move forward.
Where do you get time, Dr. Gooden? Where do you get the time? That sounds like a lot.
It certainly is a lot. I do have a very full day because I have a very demanding job, but I try to squeeze this in, and that is what one of the latitudes that the technology allows us. You can do it in your own time. So what I do when I have some free time, whether it is in the evenings or on a weekend or at nights, or when I'm on holidays or vacation, I try to see if I can package what I have to do. So for example, when I do my podcasts, I find a little time on the weekend. I make sure my podcasts are no longer than 30 minutes to 15 to 30 minutes, so that I will be able to find the time to just cover the topic and to whet people's appetite. And that is what I'm hoping to develop these new skill sets so that in the future I will be able to impact on a wider audience right across the globe.
Excellent. Thank you so much for your time. I do appreciate it, and I wish you best in everything that you do.
You are welcome, and I see this as an opportunity because I know you are an influencer of thought and opinion, and you are well respected in the community in which you serve. And so I know that this video series will be going far and wide, and I do hope to make it again to the program. And I thank you so much for having me, Dr. Stephanie Stern. Thank you so much.
Okay, Dr. Gooden, thank you so much. And we will certainly have you back.